Hey there, my name is Doster Andrew Lake, and what you're about to listen to is a preview from my audiobook, Stoic Experiencing, a synopsis for sex, love, life, and soul. You can listen to the full-length audiobook on my channel. Head on over and leave me a comment, share it with your friends, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Chapter 19. How a Woman's Voice Evolves. The evolution of a woman's voice is directly proportional to her consciousness. As a child, a woman's voice is that of a little girl. She sounds sweet, playful, and innocent, speaking with a simplicity and an originality that is absolutely unique to her pure essence. In her years before becoming a teenager, she may develop a degree of sarcasm, being cheeky in a way that is arrogant and yet still delightful. During these few short years, her confidence may turn in a few different directions, sometimes causing her voice to split between the various social circles she is involved in. She speaks one way when she is around her parents and siblings, and another way when she is with her friends. In early adolescence, if her sarcasm is the driving force behind her voice, she will start to sound sour, responding defensively in most conversations. If she remains in good standing with her mother, family members, friends, and general social groups, she may not fall into this habit, rather becoming more quiet and more tentative with the way she speaks. In later adolescence, her sourness may become bitter. Around this time, she will be starting to enter the field of intimate relationships and opening to sexuality. If she has negative experiences in this field, her voice will grow ever more bitter. If she remains closed to this field, her voice will become even weaker and more tentative. If she navigates the relational field with grace, under the guidance of her mother or appropriate adult figure, she will learn to speak with clarity and authenticity. In her young adulthood years, she may become more serious, deepening her voice in an unconscious attempt to impress and appease those around her. Her experiences of the relational field will have a bearing that is impossible for her to deny or repress, either turning her voice into something hard and fixed in the case of generally negative experiences, or something that is authentic and centered in the case of generally positive experiences. Sometime during her adult years, she will meet the man of her dreams. They will fall deeply in love, and her understanding of intimate relating will turn to an entirely new chapter of experiencing. During this time, her voice will revert to that which it was when she was a little girl. She will regularly play with baby talk when speaking with her partner, who may also engage in baby talk. She will enjoy renewed innocence and playfulness, often making up words and phrases and opening to humor and absurdity. Once she becomes pregnant, if the experience is an occurrence that happens within love and support, her voice will start to transform and evolve as the process of the pregnancy unfolds. During her pregnancy, two things are critical for the well-being of the coming child. One is that the mother-to-be must never feel fear. She must never feel she is in danger, and she must never have a worry about the coming birthing experience or anything else that may come to bear on her day-to-day activities. This is why it is so important for a mother-to-be to be given any sort of care and luxury she may require. Another is that she must have moments of laughter on a regular basis. For an unborn baby, to experience her mother's laughter is to create a particular association for the baby between sound and movement. If there is no laughter, the child that is born will need to learn positive associations. For example, the father throwing the child up in the air and catching them again while yelling "woo." Laughter is also one of the defining ingredients of the quality of a woman's voice. during the birthing experience, there is every chance her voice will break. After giving birth to her first child, her voice will change into something new entirely. It may at first be unrecognizable to her family and friends. This is partly because of the physical process of giving birth, and partly because of the energetic movement. As her child learns to speak, she will find she has a new kind of voice that is reserved especially for her child. This is the motherly voice, which will be distinct from her other moments of talking. If she is aware of this difference, she will work with her awareness to enfold the different voices within her, and the differences will help to enrich her voice. If she is unaware of this difference, the differences within her voice may become extreme and conflicting, leading to tensions and conflict in the family. This stage of voice development has an echo to her early years of when she was using different voices for her various social circles. The voice she uses with her children will evolve as her children do. As her child learns to talk, she will have to form middle words to support the child's mental development. These are words that sit somewhere between baby talk and adult talk, thus adding to the complexity of the various components of her voice. A mother who has realized the higher reaches of consciousness and awareness will have a voice of benevolence. A woman of benevolence will sing heavenly songs to her child. Singing is a critical component of a woman's voice, as it is both a doorway towards and an expression of divinity. A woman may sing to her child to help them fall asleep. What may be lesser known, a woman may sing to her child to wake them up. The act of singing, to bring them out of sleep in just the right moment, to bridge the dream world and the manifest world, can work miracles for the existential and spiritual development of a child. As her child grows, she will find opportunities to review the moments she herself lived as a child. Her own inner child will relive its developmental years. If she is living with grace and higher awareness, every moment will become ripe with learning and integration. She will enfold her previous experiences, thus laying the foundation for further growth to occur within her being and in the coming years. There may be times during the growth of the child when the mother will say something that was said to her by her own mother when she was a child. This may catch her in a moment of shock. She may be surprised in all sorts of ways to hear herself saying to her own child what her mother said to her. It is in this moment the mother has the chance to enfold and integrate her experiences. If she is acting with awareness and higher intelligence, she will use this moment to improve upon her mother's relating, thus improving upon the experience of her own child and resolving the experience of her own inner child. If she is acting without awareness and higher intelligence, she will have this moment as a pain, thus perpetuating generational trauma and remaining unresolved with the experiences of her own inner child. There is no time during motherhood for deep self-reflection. Therefore, all integration must be spontaneous. As her children grow into young adults and leave home, her voice will take one of two directions. If she has raised her children with love and understanding, her voice will be of compassionate understanding. It will sound warm, heartfelt, and grounded. She will be at peace with however much or however little her children choose to relate to her, by whatever capacity and by whatever means. If she has not raised her children with love and understanding, her voice will grow an edge of desperation. It will sound ever so slightly stressed at all times, as if there is something she is trying to control. She will be unsettled by the fact that her children no longer visit, as they fail to relate to her in the way she had hoped they would. The negative form of her voice will have the echo of the nagging wife, the wife that causes a pain in the neck in her husband. This echo will be present in all her relationships, as a background tone within every word she speaks. The positive form of her voice will have the echo of the divine feminine, a being that is multidimensional and understanding. Her heartfelt voice in her middle-aged years will have a background tone of love within every word she speaks. During her years of menopause, a new wave of uncertainty will be brought upon the woman, causing many changes in all aspects of her being, including in her body, her energy, and her voice. During this time, she may develop a voice that is blunt, matter-of-fact, and always with a subtle tone of confrontation. She will speak of her problems as if they are a harsh reality she is resigned to, which will sound like truth, and yet will be far removed from the truth of her higher self, which is multidimensional and loving. If she allows this chapter to unfold with grace, the uncertainties and certainties of menopause will allow her to integrate old parts of herself into something new. The differentiation between her sexuality and her heart center will have a new awareness. The physical place from where her voice comes from, by either being from the head, the chest, or the belly, will have a new awareness. This chapter of life can either be a growing into something new, or a resignation to what is now lost to the passing of time. During her twilight years, her voice will continue in either of two distinct directions. If she has lived in higher awareness, it will become more integrated and authentic. Her voice of childish innocence will be enfolded into her wisdom, and the culmination of all her experiences will be heard in every word she speaks. She will be both an innocent child and a wise old woman. There will be sweetness, but also depth. If she has not lived in higher awareness, her voice will become raggedy and sour. To hear her speak will be to feel her sucking the energy from the room. There will be no sweetness and no depth. For a woman to reach her older years and to have a voice of authenticity, she must live with grace and higher awareness at every chapter of life. The growing sweetness or the growing bitterness in her voice as she nears death will be an undeniable indication of whether she will die with either a smile and a twinkle in her eye or a frown and a coldness in her heart. For anyone who has become masterful in the art of listening with higher awareness, the sound of a woman's voice will reveal almost everything there is to know about her. A master of listening with higher awareness will know exactly how a woman's life is unfolding and what chapter she is living. Even with just a basic amount of awareness, a woman's voice can reveal many things. A woman who is speaking from her inner child, being sarcastic, nagging her partner, or with any other number of ways of speaking, has a certain tone to her voice. What's more, this tone is clearly identifiable, regardless of the language she is speaking. Innocence is deeper than cultural conditioning, just as desperation is deeper than cultural conditioning. A master in the art of listening hears not what a woman is saying, but what is behind her voice. A woman's voice is at the center of her journey, the core of her unfolding, the calling card of the way she is living. There is no sound closer to the divine than the singing of a woman who has realized the highest reaches of human consciousness. There is no sound more disturbing than the nagging of a woman who has lived in desperation and bitterness.